You know where I am? Oh, the future! I don't know why I keep recording all these damn videos in a Waymo, but that's the way it is. All right, let me turn off the music here. So what are you talking about today? Well, I had a conversation with an investor, and he's like, "Hey, Jordan, how do I get in touch with people?" He's like, "How do I get in touch with people?" And I was like, "All right, well, how many deals do you need?" He's like, "Well, we got $80 million bucks." I was like, "Okay, great. What are you going to do with that $80 million bucks?" So I got to give it away to people. I said, "Okay, great. So you're selling money. Good to sell money, but it's a commodity. So what are you going to do?" How, in this case, like, all you have to do is you have to hack attention, which is like not what I talk about at all with any of the folks that I work with. Is like, attention hacking is not what I do. But if you had to do it and you were selling a commodity like this, and I said, like, how many people are in your TAM? He's like, 1,000. I was like, there's 1,000 people that you have to get their attention? Automate nothing. Do not automate anything. And if I was thinking about my friend Kyle at Owner, who I saw today, he always takes those Lyft bikes, which is like, why? He's always like Lyft biking everywhere. So I was like, look, Kyle's been on 1 trillion podcasts. So you don't think with deep research, I could find something that he loves, which, by the way, it's bikes. He loves bikes. So if I wanted to get Kyle's attention and I set him $1,000 gift card to Specialized or whatever, for sure Kyle's taking a meeting with me. Now, I'm not saying that you should bribe your audience. There's a lot of creative ways to be able to do things that are helpful. Because Kyle's been so fantastic to me, I gave memberships to all of the San Francisco museums here for his whole family. Or my friend Sam, he doesn't know this yet, but like, he was helping me in the middle of the night to craft slides for my Clay Talk. So I just bought the new AirPods 3 and sent it to him. It doesn't, well, actually it's because I stole his AirPods by accident. But it doesn't really take too much to provide an exceptional experience to people. The bar is ridiculously low. I remember one time Chris, who we're homies, we're working on truckday.com together, which I'll tell you about later. But I changed my title to not the VP of Sales at Outreach or something. And just to see how bad, this is many moons ago, you can see my LinkedIn profile, just see how bad all this messaging has gotten. And Chris sent me like a sales book programmatically to my home address. You know how many people have done that? 0. It's not hard actually to stand out. The problem is, and people think that, that automation's the problem. But one of the key components of my Clay Talk is going to be this question. If you had unlimited amounts of time and perfect information, what message would you send? Now, my particular framework is PVP, permissionless value prop. Oh boy. There's people that are manually directing traffic in the Waymo. Very confused. I always get into some weird Waymo situation. So my sort of framework is, how do I go about and provide people value at scale? But there's another thing here, which is, how do you provide an exceptional experience just manually, right? And the bar is so low. And here's another great exercise for you to do. Think about in your life when you have received an exceptional experience, or even think about what could someone send, do, or say to you that would be absolutely exceptional. I commented the other day on the CEO of Docebo. I shouldn't say that. My homies are there. And I said, hey, look, I found case studies. I found happy customers online that didn't have a case study. I interviewed them all, and I wrote up all 3 case studies myself, but it's not in your language. Oh my gosh, Waymo just drove over a curb. Who's the person in marketing over there I should chat with to get these things published? It's that no one summons empathy for the people that they are sending messages to. No one thinks about pure delight, and no one thinks about delaying the sale. If you want to, there's a really easy hack to be able to get anyone to respond to you. And Andy Dufresne from the Shawshank Redemption taught me this message. That would be Tim Robbins' character. I think Tim Robbins' name. Pressure over time. I can tell you right now, if you, perfect example of this. At the Vertex conference today, I sat down with an old homie of mine and a new homie, and I built out their whole TAM. I sat through it. I gave them value. I uploaded the list. I gave them a CSV. I used Upsell to get mobile phones. I did it all in front of them. I charged them nothing. And I said, look, if this turns into something, just pay me out, make me an advisor, whatever. And will I tell you that I left an amazing impression on those two people? For sure I did. Do you think that if I want a favor in the future that they're going to do it for me? For sure they will. And I didn't do it for that reason. I did it from a pure place. And if you invest the time to demonstrate that you care, you engage with someone publicly, and you make no ask, only provide value, or at the very least joy, that you will get everything you want in life. Hiten Shah used to have in his signature line a Zig Ziglar quote where, if you find a way to give people what you want, you will want for nothing. Some variant of that. This is not only good sales, it's good humanity. And it turns out that one of the things that the models can't do is they're not really good at providing creative joy. But you are, because you know what gives you joy. And the models also aren't good at intonation. They don't know the difference between "it was a hard day at work today" or "it was a hard day at work today." Same exact message, totally different message. So, what I want you to do is I want you to think about someone that maybe you would like to get to know, and maybe you would like even to sell to them. And then what I want you to do is just read about them. Just learn about them. And then what I want you to do is to think, if I had unlimited time, what would I do for this person? How could I be helpful to them? Maybe you find a job posting where you know someone that's a good fit. Maybe you find out that they are traveling somewhere, and maybe you get them an experience. Maybe all you do is talk to them about a time that you had a great time with someone you used to work for. People are seeking connection, not connection requests. And if you can find connection with someone, no one is ever asking base level questions of you anymore. They are not thinking from a place of loss. You do not have a transactional relationship with them. You have a relationship with them. And if you have a relationship with someone, they will work hard to make it work. And that is priceless. Now, it won't always work, but the fact that they are invested in helping solve the problem because they like the person is worth its weight in gold. And I can tell you from personal experience that I would give away an unlimited amount of my time and energy if only every company that I worked for, every person that I worked for, embodied that spirit. Because it means that my days are filled with joy. And I am fortunate enough to have that experience in my business, and I wish that for you too. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Say goodbye, Waymo. AIBarf.com, September 18th. Sonesta Hotel, $299. It's just so we can pay for the dim sum. Actually, we didn't get dim sum. I cut it. It was too expensive. But you will get Mediterranean food and vegetables. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Can't wait to see you. I'm so grateful you invested 10 minutes of your time. Congratulate yourself for learning a little bit more about how to proceed in the world with tactical empathy, and for learning that joy delivered is joy received.